Well, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you again for joining us. I'm here today to give you a little bit of an overview on where we are at the moment. I'm happy to say that the system is returning to normal. Unit 1 is up at Holyrood and producing at full capacity. Unit 2 is up producing at full capacity. We still have issues in reduced capacity in Unit 3, and the system won't be fully recovered until that unit is back up to its ability to produce at full capacity. Happy to say that that work still remains ahead of schedule, and those issues should be resolved in the time frames that have been outlined by Newfoundland and Labrador Hydro. Today I understand that Hardwoods and Stephenville will be up and operational today because temperatures have dipped again and demand is high. So I still want to reiterate my message to the people of the province. We know the last week has certainly been challenging, but the response to the situation in which we find ourselves has been very, very good as well, and people have really responded well to our request to conserve, and we ask them to continue to do that. I think we've all learned a lesson around good stewardship and things that we should be incorporating into our daily practices in any case. And I don't want us to lose any of those lessons learned on a go-forward basis. But if we could take extra steps where it's possible over the next few days, that'd be wonderful. In terms of the next piece, it's important now that both of the utilities concentrate on the work at hand to get the system back within its normal parameters as quickly as possible. There's a piece of work that the PUB has been mandated to perform, and that's a review of what took place over the last 7 days. What contributed to it, what were the sequence of events, where responsibility might lie, if there were gaps, if there were shortfalls, what needs to be done about that. So we need to let the PUB do that piece of work, the whole review of what's gone on in the province in the last week. But as this situation has unfolded, larger questions have been asked. And it's been about the whole regulatory piece of our energy framework in the province. For example, there's been questions raised about the level of investment in our public utilities, particularly Newfoundland and Labrador Hydro. It's evident that not everyone understands how the system works, and there's not one reason in the world why everyone should. I certainly didn't before I came to government. But people think that government sometimes controls the budget of the public utility, and that's not so. The types of repair and maintenance, the level of capital investment and what needs to happen is a process that goes on within the utilities and the PUB. And once that's approved, arm's length from government, ratepayers, not taxpayers, fund that piece. So whether we're having a good budget, a bad budget, whether we've got lots of money or we're doing cutbacks, doesn't affect what's happening in the utility in terms of repairs, maintenance, and capital investment. And so because these questions have been raised, we need to ensure that the people of the province have confidence in that whole regulatory framework. I have every confidence in both our utilities and the PUB, but the questions need to be answered so that the people of the province have the same level of confidence that we do. So over the next 6 weeks, we're going to prepare for a review of our regulatory framework, particularly as it relates to the provision of energy to the people of the province between today and 2020, for example, just to give you an idea. As we move in this transition period from an isolated system to an interconnected system, we need to ensure that the people of the province have confidence in the utility's ability to provide energy, stable energy, to the people of the province. So we're going to do a review over the next 6 weeks. We're going to determine what the terms of reference are going to be, who's going to do that review. We're going to talk to people who have expressed a view about what we ought to be doing, such as Tom Johnson, for example, the consumer advocate. So that's our plan. You know, people were asking us what we were going to do. Earlier this week, you know, we talked about we needed to get through the critical situation, the critical period we were in, and once we got to that place, then we decide what the next steps are going to be. And that process is going to continue over the next 6 weeks, but there is definitely going to be a larger review than the one being conducted by the PUB.